Furthermore, we can actually see so far out that we are close to reaching 13.8 billion years ago, in close proximity to the Big Bang. We now know how our world ends, our affinity with sci-fi movies, and perhaps the Big Bang would be pointed at by the Bible's apocalypse. However, what if we informed you that the end of the universe is no different since its beginning? The James Webb Telescope has discovered that the universe has ceased spreading. Popular science, as predicted by Brian Cox many years ago, gave us the most realistic starting point to imagine the end of the world. We can look to light that began its journey before there were galaxies, and that's the oldest light in the universe, which, by the way, is one of the pieces of evidence for individuals who don't believe in the Big Bang. The answer is good, as you can see, where we're going toward Big Bang 2.0. Come along with us as we investigate the cause of the world's halt in expanding and the terrifying web of James. In the event that we are certain about anything in our knowledge of the universe and its history, it's the fact that the epic nature of our existence is centralized around this event called the Big Bang. Of course, there are alternative theories that acknowledge the origin of the universe, such as eternal inflation or an oscillating universe, but we're not getting into the validity of these theories today, primarily due to the astronomical community now readily accepting that this is our history. The universe starts with a Big Bang, and the ideas that emerge after the Big Bang are also based on the same common point of a universe's birth. While the Big Bang is a common expression in the theoretical understanding of astronomy in space, we're hardly aware of the particulars and the residence of the occurrence unless you're a geek who devoted hours to watching some outstanding fair visualization of the Big Bang. The occurrence was more than just an explosion, or, to put it another way, the Big Bang finds its origin in a single point that was infinitely hot and dense with extreme inflation lengths. All this occurred when the universe was incredibly young. Believe it or not, at the time of the Big Bang, the universe had a ratio of only 1034 seconds old, that is, 100th of a 100 trillionth of a second in age. This is when the universe experienced a tremendous outburst of expansion, also known as notorious inflation. Space grew during this process more quickly than the speed of light. So yes, you wouldn't have even blinked when the universe expanded almost 90 times instantaneously from subatomic size to the size of a golf ball. 1 second after the inflation, the universe began to cool, and that resulted in matter's formation as we know it today. So yeah, as far as the timeline goes, within a second, our universe was full of every particle we've learned about in our chemistry class, willingly or otherwise. Protons, neutrons, electrons, anti-electrons, photons, and neutrinos are the legacy of the Big Bang. Magical, right? Well, figuratively, it appears so, but our knowledge of the universe's inception is highly theoretical. We've come a long way since the initial moon landing, and since then, our technological advancement has grown significantly. When scientists were focusing solely on Big Bang research, scientific equations, and mathematical formulas, models they had no idea existed, they'd be exploring the possibility of life on Mars. There have been some big advances in our research pursuits of the universe and space exploration, but even then, the technology we have now is pretty limited. You see, we can't recreate the Big Bang or retrace the event's course itself. Our most important evidence comes from the cosmic microwave background that scientists have been able to observe the Big Bang's echo. Despite the fact that this mechanism is novel in the study of the universe, it's also the biggest theoretically limited barrier. In this particular methodology, the fact that we are unable to see gravitational waves or the residual radiation that came from expansion itself is a limitation. So, while our entire knowledge rests on theoretical tenets, scientific theories have a large room to be disproved as well. Yep, we're pretty sure about the Big Bang as the concept and how it was monumental in creating our universe, but there are some chunks of its aftermath that we've gotten wrong. In addition to theories about the majority of our universe being built on data that is prone to human errors all the time, simultaneously, some of our data is also highly conclusive about the Big Bang. At this point, let's just say that it is difficult to disprove the theory altogether over time. In the last decade or so, our only saving grace to study the Big Bang was the Hubble Space Telescope, and now, of course, all baits are on the excellent James Webb Precision Space Telescope. Before we got to use these powerful technological instruments, one of the biggest points of contention in astronomical study was the expansion of the universe. Whichever science textbooks you choose from the early 1990s, if memory serves, you read about how the universe is widening. In other words, the universe is expanding. A minor scientific fact like that we have retained, but the actual error, the problem here, is that we may not comprehend what the expansion of the universe entails. But most importantly, we have to inquire as to whether the universe is actually expanding because, spoiler alert, the James Webb Space Telescope shows us otherwise. Lo and behold, the universe has ceased expanding. But hey, the world has not changed, so you might want to improve your internet experience safe and secure because we certainly have. This is why we are delighted to share our very own secret to secure browsing and accessing deep content to make some hefty informative videos. Today's video is funded by the proponent of safe and accessible internet, Atlas VPN. With more than 6 million users worldwide, Atlas is changing the game for everyone. Alright, this service won't be available in space, but Atlas would make your internet experience extremely safe and quick. Watch shows that are locked in your region, connect to Atlas within a microsecond, and you do not need to be a computer or technology expert to use this service. It works like a charm for anyone and everyone. For the sake of $1.83 per month plus 3 months extra, why Atlas? Atlas eliminates malware attacks, keeps your searches secure, unlocks content from all over the world, and gives customers the best deals available. You can get all of this for all of your devices via a single subscription. Grab the significance of Atlas VPN now. The price is just $1.83 per month plus 3 more months, and with a money-back guarantee for 30 days, protect your privacy and get many benefits of Atlas VPN for a ridiculously low cost. So, you can get this deal by clicking the link in the video description below. Be quick, as it's a limited time offer. So, while we thank Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video, follow the link in the description to make use of the limited time offer. Your internet experience just got a whole lot better. And now, rather than launching into the implications of this revolutionary shift from our universe's trajectory, let's just discuss our comprehension of this perplexing phenomenon in the first place. The most widely held knowledge connected to the Big Bang declares it to be an explosion, and well-known media and fiction have placed solid imagery on this process as well. Any form of media would portray the inception of the universe as some sort of blast that hurled tons of energy, and the matter simply spread in every direction. From a scientific standpoint, that kind of visualization is wrong. Despite the widespread use of the words explosion and inflation, the universe's birth wasn't exactly as scientists want us to believe. The blast needs to be fixed in our understanding of the universe. According to NASA, the universe did not expand into space because there was no space. Rather, it is preferable to consider the Big Bang as the moment when space appeared simultaneously all over the universe. Our comprehension of the phenomenon also reveals that life exists in our universe during a prolonged cosmic era that was only disrupted by the reionization in space. Prior to that, specific chemicals suggest that our universe was merely pitch black. Let there be light in the darkness occurred only 400 million years after the Big Bang. Yep, you can see the huge explosion only created the basic tenets of all living beings and heavy bodies in the universe. For 400 million years, the universe fell into darkness simply because there weren't any stars or galaxies. When that was rectified, as clumps of gas turned into stars and galaxies, only then did the universe emerge from its cosmic dark ages. As a result, here's some trivia for you. What date do you believe our solar system came into being? If the universe was just darkness and unease for 400 million years, our solar system was created 9 billion years ago. Yes, billions of years after the Big Bang. Sorry, sci-fi movies, there's a huge disparity between the so-called explosion and scientific theory, and of course, this changes everything. The way the universe's elements continue to exist hasn't moved or grown continuously since the Big Bang. What? The reality is that space has been extending all the way through, carrying matter in its trajectory. To put it in clear-cut words, the universe isn't transforming the way we think about it or even comprehend it, as it is the active stretching of space that precedes the expansion of the universe. We know it's a bit complicated to comprehend, but it is also essential to understand the repercussions of what we are about to inform you. For this reason, in this video, we keep using the phrase "the universe's expansion" to symbolize the space's active movement, primarily because scientists themselves are comfortable using the exact framing to enumerate the most recent findings made by the James Webb Space Telescope. That there is no more space in the universe is terrifying as well as inconsistent with our previous theoretical knowledge of this baffling phenomenon. So, what do we make of it? Let's get right to that. To comprehend the full scope of the repercussions, we must return to our previous research into the universe, back when the universe was born. During the Big Bang. Our universe was smaller than one atom, and ever since, the entire universe has been continuously stretching outward. Initially, it expanded outward at unfathomable speeds, but as the universe grew older, it continued to expand and stretch out more. This is the moment everyone believed it would continue forever. After all, if the Big Bang was a beginning of a kind, we should anticipate the same brings an end to our theoretical knowledge. As a result, knowledge suggests that the universe is set on a single course of expansion without any plausible slowdown. In other words, we were sure of the ever-expanding nature of the universe, and that idea would have allowed us to figure out how and when the world would end. The James Webb Space Telescope shatters our beliefs about the nature of the universe's expansion. First things first, according to the data, the universe is no longer expanding. New images that the James Webb Telescope has received provide evidence that the universe's rate of expansion has significantly slowed. The universe may not even be expanding, if anything. How did this discovery come about? Well, with the recent images, scientists have revealed that the light waves appear to have been bending as they made their way through space and time. The very bending nature of the light suggests that space has stopped expanding. The new images show something far beyond what the Hubble Space Telescope has achieved. Our previous knowledge was based on Hubble studies, and hence, it didn't reveal the most important aspect of the universe. The new images have shown that the universe is essentially curved. This mind-boggling discovery thus demonstrates that the universe is a sphere, and our very existence, including space and time, encompasses a sphere. With this additional major breakthrough, the illumination that reached. The new telescope shows that the more we look at the images, the more proof we have that the Big Bang theory is both true but outdated. The universe began at one point, and it has been constantly growing, but at the same time, it is outdated because the expansion of the universe has been largely debunked with the James Webb Space Telescope's new data. If we study the data, we can see that the universe, also known as a spherical point, has stopped expanding, and precisely that quality of the universe hints at the most plausible fate of the end of the universe. As stated, the universe was created with a Big Bang. However, we have never paused to consider what would precisely describe the universe when it comes to an end. Scientists revealed the means by which the world comes to an end, and spoilers ahead, it ends the same way it began. The expansion has stopped, and what happens next is that the stretching of space would also slow down. The new data also reveals the plausible end, which is the Big Crunch. We know it's too much for anyone to wrap their heads around, but scientists can observe, thanks to the James Webb Space Telescope, the universe's mechanisms. By doing so, we are now aware of the universe's trajectory. Instead of accelerating the expansion, the universe has stopped expanding, and hence, with time, this curve or the globe that holds our universe together would gradually collapse. This theory isn't new to scientists, but it's only with the James Webb Space Telescope that we have the evidence to confirm it. Imagine it as a full circle. Our universe has reached its peak of expansion, and it would soon begin to collapse. The collapse itself marks the end of the universe as it currently exists. The James Webb Space Telescope is a remarkable creation that is paving the way for how the universe is now fully comprehended by us. The telescope's images show that light is bending at the edges, which signifies that the universe has ceased to expand, and it also means that we're closer to our ultimate end than we thought. Whether this is going to occur in the next few thousand years or centuries, for the time being, our knowledge of the universe has reached an unfathomable stage, which, by the way, is quite frightening.